Elon Musk stepped into the expansive factory. The hum of machines and the clatter of assembly lines creating a familiar symphony of productivity that filled the air. Today was just another routine inspection, a chance for him to oversee the progress on his latest venture. As he walked through the aisles, he felt a mix of anticipation and determination. He was always driven to push boundaries, to innovate, and to inspire those around him. The factory was bustling with workers, each focused on their tasks, embodying the spirit of innovation that Musk had cultivated over years. He nodded at employees as he made his way through the labyrinth of equipment, their faces familiar yet distant. Each person here had a role in shaping the future, and he took pride in being part of that journey. Yet, amidst the sea of faces, one particular worker caught his eye. She was standing near a robotic assembly line, her brow furrowed in concentration as she adjusted a complex component. Elon paused, feeling an inexplicable pull toward her. There was something strikingly familiar about her features, the shape of her jawline, the curve of her lips, even the intensity in her eyes. A sense of déjà vu washed over him, leaving him momentarily speechless. He approached her slowly, trying to shake off the feeling that gnawed at him. "Hi there," he said, his voice steady but curious. "What's your name?" The woman looked up, surprised but composed. "I'm May," she replied with a hint of warmth in her voice. "I work in quality control here." Elon's heart raced. The name echoed in his mind like a distant memory he couldn't quite grasp. "May," he repeated softly. Then it hit him. His mother's name was also May. He blinked rapidly, trying to process this unexpected connection. "May, you said you work in quality control?" he asked cautiously, searching her face for any signs of recognition or acknowledgement. "Yes," she replied with a small smile. "I've been here for about 6 months now. It's an exciting place to work." Elon felt an overwhelming urge to dig deeper, but hesitated for fear of crossing personal boundaries. "I see," he said slowly. "What do you think of it here?" "It's incredible," she said enthusiastically, her eyes lighting up as she spoke about the technology they were developing and the impact it could have on sustainability and transportation. "I love being part of something bigger than myself." As they exchanged pleasantries, Elon couldn't shake off the uncanny resemblance and the feeling that there was more to this encounter than mere coincidence. He studied her closely, the way she moved her hands when she spoke, how she smiled when discussing her passion for technology. It mirrored his own mannerisms in ways he had never noticed before. "Where are you from originally?" he found himself asking, curiosity piqued. "I grew up in Canada," she responded thoughtfully, pausing for a moment as if weighing her words carefully before continuing. "But I've lived all over since then." Elon felt an internal conflict brewing within him. Pieces began to fit together in an unexpected puzzle. He knew little about his mother's life after their estrangement. Years spent apart due to circumstances that had shaped both their lives dramatically. "Do you have family nearby?" he pressed on gently. She hesitated for a moment before answering honestly. "Not really. My life has been pretty solitary for quite some time." There was a brief flicker of sadness in her eyes that made Elon's heart ache slightly. At this moment, a mix of emotions surged through him. Curiosity intermingled with a sense of longing and unresolved questions about his past. Could this be his mother? The woman who had once known him as a child? The woman whose absence had cast shadows over so many memories? "May," he started again cautiously. "You wouldn't happen to be related to someone famous, would you?" He tried to keep his tone light while weighing how best to approach this delicate topic. She chuckled softly, shaking her head dismissively while looking slightly bemused. "No," she said playfully, but with an undercurrent of uncertainty. "Just your average factory worker trying to make a living." But Elon wasn't convinced by her words. Intuition urged him forward despite the risks involved in revealing too much too soon. "I don't mean to pry," he added cautiously. "It's just that you look so familiar." Their eyes locked for what felt like an eternity, a silent understanding passing between them that neither could fully comprehend yet. Just then, one of Elon's team members approached them with urgent news about production timelines and technical issues needing immediate attention. He reluctantly excused himself from May's presence, but couldn't shake off the encounter that had just transpired. As he walked away, his mind raced with possibilities and questions left unasked. Could this woman truly be his mother? What would it mean for both of them if they were indeed connected by blood? Would they find solace in each other's company after years apart? The unexpected meeting left Elon pondering deeper truths about family ties and personal connections as he navigated through the bustling factory floor filled with dreams wrapped in metal and innovation. A place where destinies intertwined amid machines and aspirations. Little did he know that this encounter was merely the beginning. A spark igniting a journey that would lead them down paths they never anticipated exploring together, forever changing both their lives in ways they couldn't yet imagine. After a whirlwind of thoughts and emotions stirred in Elon's mind during his brief encounter with May, he found himself unable to focus on the tasks at hand. The hum of the factory around him faded into the background as he replayed their conversation, the warmth in her voice lingering like an echo. Something deep inside urged him to return to her, to uncover the truth behind that uncanny resemblance. It didn't take long for him to make his way back to the quality control area where she was still working, a slight frown of concentration etched on her face as she inspected a newly produced component. Taking a deep breath, Elon stepped forward once again, his heart pounding in anticipation. "May," he said gently, hesitating for a moment before continuing, "I hope you don't mind if I ask you something more personal." She looked up from her work, her expression shifting from focused to intrigued. "Of course, what's on your mind?" I know this might sound strange." He began slowly, choosing his words carefully. "But I can't shake the feeling that there's something more connecting us than just being co-workers." May smiled knowingly, and for a fleeting moment, it felt as though they were two old friends reuniting after years apart. "I felt it too," she admitted softly, "but I didn't want to presume." Elon swallowed hard, his curiosity battling against the weight of uncertainty. He could sense that they were on the verge of something monumental. "You mentioned earlier that you grew up in Canada. Did you ever live in Pretoria? Or know anyone from South Africa?" Her eyes widened slightly at the mention of Pretoria, and for a moment, silence hung heavily between them. Then, taking a deep breath, she responded with deliberate clarity. "I was born there." As the words left her lips, a rush of emotions surged through Elon. Disbelief mingled with a glimmer of hope. "Born there," he echoed. "So you're saying—" "Yes," she interjected gently but firmly. "I'm your mother, Elon." The revelation hit him like a lightning bolt, stunning and electrifying all at once. For years, he had lived with fragments of memories and stories told through different lenses, often shrouded in ambiguity and pain due to familial complexities that had long since faded into whispers of the past. "Mom," he whispered incredulously, disbelief coloring his voice as he searched her eyes for any hint of insincerity. But what reflected back was authenticity, raw emotion that bound them together across time and space. "Yes," May confirmed softly, her voice steady yet filled with emotion. "When I left South Africa many years ago, I thought it was best for both of us given the circumstances." Elon felt his heart race as he processed her words, the myriad questions flooding his mind, nearly overwhelming him. "But why? Why didn't I know?" he asked urgently, memories rushing back, of childhood moments spent wondering about his mother's absence. May sighed deeply, her expression turning somber as she began to recount their shared history, a story interwoven with love and sacrifice. "Your father and I had our differences. Life became complicated when we moved to Canada after you were born. It wasn't easy raising a child in such turmoil." Tears welled in Elon's eyes as he listened intently to her explanation. The pain of separation etched into both their lives like scars that had shaped their futures in profound ways. "I thought it was better for you to have stability away from all the chaos," she continued, her voice trembling slightly as she spoke of decisions made in desperation rather than malice. Elon felt an ache in his chest, conflicted by the need for answers, but also overwhelmed by compassion for the woman standing before him who had endured her own struggles. I've always loved you, she said softly, reaching out tentatively as if trying to bridge the gap created by years apart. I never stopped thinking about you. Why didn't you try to find me? He questioned earnestly, desperate for understanding. I did, she replied earnestly. But life took me down different paths. Choices I made led me far from South Africa and from your life. Her gaze softened as she continued. I thought about you all the time. I carried guilt with me every day. Elon felt layers of emotion swirling within him. A mixture of anger and sorrow intertwined with an unexpected sense of relief at finally uncovering this hidden truth. Do you ever think about what would have happened if things had been different? He asked quietly. All the time, May admitted with a wistful smile that held both regret and hope. But we can't change the past. We can only move forward from here. In that moment of vulnerability shared between them, two souls once separated by circumstance, now brought together by fate, Elon recognized a profound shift occurring within him. This was not merely about discovering his biological mother. It was about unearthing lost pieces of himself that had lingered unseen beneath layers of ambition and success. What do we do now? He asked slowly, realizing that this revelation could either fracture or strengthen their relationship moving forward. May reached out again and clasped his hands warmly between hers, a gesture filled with unspoken promise and reconciliation. We take our time, she suggested gently. We get to know each other again, learn who we are now. As they stood there surrounded by the rhythmic sounds of machinery and innovation, the world buzzing around them, they forged an unbreakable bond marked by understanding and newfound connection. Elon couldn't help but feel a sense of hope blossoming within him, a feeling that perhaps this reunion could lead not only to healing, but also to creating new memories together after all these years apart. With hearts open and futures entwined once more, they decided right then and there to embark on this unexpected journey together, a journey filled with love, discovery, and perhaps even forgiveness, as they navigated through the complexities of family ties that had long eluded them both. As Elon Musk and May stood together, the weight of their shared history began to unfold, revealing the complexities of a family story woven with both love and estrangement. The factory buzzed around them, but in that moment, it felt as if time had slowed, allowing them space to explore the narratives that had shaped their lives. Elon's upbringing was marked by significant challenges and remarkable achievements. Born in Pretoria, South Africa, he was the son of Elon Musk, a successful electromechanical engineer, and May, a model and dietitian. His childhood was filled with an early fascination for technology and innovation, sparked by his father's influence and a natural curiosity that drove him to dismantle toys just to understand how they worked. Yet beneath the surface of this seemingly idyllic life lay tensions that would eventually lead to a fracture in family bonds. Errol was known for his sharp intellect, but also for his volatile temperament. Family dynamics were fraught with conflict, and Elon often found himself caught in the middle of heated arguments between his parents. Despite his father's intellect and accomplishments, there were moments when Elon felt overshadowed, struggling to carve out his own identity amid the chaos. May's perspective on their relationship was complicated. She had always been the nurturing force in Elon's life, often providing emotional support when conflicts erupted at home. I wanted to shield you from the tension, she explained softly as they sat down on a nearby bench, taking a moment to breathe amidst the revelations. But I realize now that my attempts to protect you may have led to misunderstandings and distance. Elon nodded slowly, feeling a sense of understanding wash over him. He had always admired his mother's strength. She had been a beacon of hope during tumultuous times. Yet he couldn't shake the feeling that her decision to leave South Africa had left a void that echoed throughout his life. "Why did you leave?" he asked gently, wanting to grasp the full scope of her choices without judgment. "I believed it was what was best for you," May replied, her voice tinged with regret. "Your father and I were struggling to maintain our relationship, and I felt it would be better for you to have stability away from our conflicts." Her gaze drifted off into the distance as she continued. "I thought if I took you away from that environment, you would have a brighter future. Elon listened intently as she recounted her decision to move to Canada, a choice fueled by a desire for independence and opportunity. She described how she worked tirelessly to create a new life for herself, while holding on to dreams for her son's success from afar. But as much as May sought to provide for Elon, distance bred disconnection. It was painful not being able to see you grow up, she confessed quietly. I missed so many milestones, birthdays, school events. Each one felt like a dagger in my heart. Elon recalled the void he felt during those years, the unanswered questions about his mother's absence lingering like shadows in his memories. The stories he heard from friends about their families made him yearn for something more, a connection that remained elusive. I remember being angry, he admitted candidly. Angry at both you and Dad for not keeping our family together. He paused, grappling with emotions that had long been buried beneath layers of ambition and success. But now I see how complicated things were. May reached out once more, placing her hand on his shoulder with reassurance. Life isn't easy. Sometimes decisions are made in haste or out of desperation. Her eyes met his with understanding as she continued. We both did what we thought was best at the time. As they shared these truths, both Elon and May began unearthing layers of their family history. Stories rooted in resilience, but marred by sorrow and separation. They spoke about how her modeling career had taken off after moving to Canada, allowing her opportunities she never imagined possible, yet leaving behind pieces of her identity that once revolved around motherhood. Elon shared glimpses into his own journey, how he moved from South Africa to Canada and eventually settled in the United States in pursuit of his dreams. Each step along the way led him closer to becoming one of the most influential figures in technology today. But at what cost? He often found himself asking if success meant sacrificing personal connections. I became so focused on building companies and changing the world that I sometimes forgot what truly matters, he reflected somberly. I lost sight of my roots, the very things that shaped me. The conversation turned more introspective as they explored how estrangement can alter perceptions over time. A distance filled with silence, often leading to misconceptions about love lost or forgotten. I thought about you every day, May admitted softly, tears glistening in her eyes as she spoke candidly about her feelings of inadequacy as a mother. I worried if you'd ever forgive me for leaving. Forgiveness is hard. Elon responded thoughtfully, feeling compassion for both their journeys intertwined through pain and longing. But understanding helps. It allows us to heal. In this shared space of honesty between them, two individuals reconnected after years apart. They found solace in their vulnerabilities and acceptance in their struggles as mother and son. The factory buzzed around them still, but seemed less daunting now. It transformed into a backdrop for their reconnection, an emblem of hope amid uncertainty. Through tears and laughter, they began piecing together not only their family history, but also the foundation upon which they could build anew. A future where communication replaced silence and love bridged gaps created through time apart. As they concluded their heartfelt conversation that day, reflecting on choices made long ago, they promised each other to move forward together, to embrace what lay ahead while learning from the lessons etched into their pasts. Though they knew challenges awaited them on this journey toward reconciliation, they also recognized that understanding one another's histories could pave the way toward healing. A chance at rewriting their story through newfound connection forged amid shared experiences of love lost, yet rediscovered once more. As Elon and May sat together in the factory, the weight of their conversation began to settle heavily on his shoulders. The revelation that the woman before him was not just a worker, but his biological mother sent shockwaves through him. It was as if he'd been thrust into another dimension, where time and reality blurred, and everything he thought he knew about himself was suddenly upended. Shock coursed through him, making it difficult to articulate his thoughts. It felt surreal. How could this be real? One moment he was conducting a routine factory inspection, and the next he was faced with the truth of his origins. He had lived for years with an absence that now bore a name and a face. May's presence ignited memories long buried, fragments of childhood that had been shrouded in confusion and yearning. The disbelief washed over him like a wave, pulling him under for a moment. Could this truly be happening? He had often fantasized about what it would be like to meet her, to know her story and understand the reasons behind her absence. Yet now that it was here, the reality felt overwhelming. Did he even know how to reconcile this newfound relationship? As he looked into May's eyes, a surge of nostalgia swept over him. He recalled snippets from his childhood, moments of laughter shared with friends, rainy afternoons spent tinkering with electronics, and quiet evenings where he would imagine what life could have been like if things had been different. His mind drifted to family gatherings filled with warmth and love that were conspicuously absent from his own life. How many times had he wondered about her? How many times had he yearned for answers that never came? "Mom," he finally said, the word tasting foreign yet familiar on his tongue. "I've always wanted to understand why you weren't there." The vulnerability in his voice echoed the longing that had haunted him for years. May's gaze softened, and Elon could see the pain reflected in her eyes. "I know," she replied gently, her voice laden with emotion. "I never wanted to leave you. I thought I was doing what was best." Elon felt an ache in his chest as he absorbed her words. He wanted to scream in frustration at the circumstances that had forced them apart, but also felt an overwhelming wave of empathy for the struggles she had faced. They were both victims of choices made in desperation, each grappling with their own demons while trying to navigate a world that felt increasingly complex. "Do you remember anything about me?" he asked hesitantly, wanting to bridge the years of separation with shared memories. "I remember your laughter," she responded softly, her eyes brightening momentarily as she recalled fragments from long ago. "You were always curious about everything, the stars, machines. I could see your mind working even back then." His heart swelled at her words. It was as if she were validating parts of himself that had been lost in time. He remembered moments when curiosity drove him to explore new ideas, coding games on his computer or reading about space exploration late into the night. Was that fascination inherited? The thought ignited a flicker of excitement deep within him. "Those moments shaped who I am," Elon admitted quietly. "I've always pushed boundaries, tried to create things that would change the world." May nodded softly, pride evident in her expression despite the weight of their conversation. "And I'm so proud of you," she said sincerely. "You've accomplished so much, more than I ever imagined." A bittersweet smile crossed Elon's face as he reflected on the successes that defined him. Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink. All milestones achieved through relentless determination, but often at the expense of personal relationships, including one with his own mother. Yet amid this whirlwind of emotions, a blend of shock, disbelief, nostalgia, and pride, he found himself grappling with conflicting feelings. Anger at being deprived of a mother's love and understanding for the complexities surrounding their lives. "I wish things had been different," he confessed softly, feeling vulnerable yet liberated by the honesty between them. "So do I," May replied, her voice heavy with regret but filled with hope for what lay ahead. "But we can't change our past. We can only choose how we move forward." Elon recognized how transformative this moment was, not just for himself, but for both of them as they navigated through layers of emotions once hidden beneath years of silence. He realized they stood on the precipice of reconciliation, a chance to redefine their relationship in ways they hadn't dared imagine before. "What do we do now?" he asked quietly, uncertainty lingering in the air between them. May took a deep breath, as if gathering strength from within before responding thoughtfully. "We start by getting to know each other again," she suggested earnestly. "Let's talk about our lives, our dreams, everything we've missed." Elon felt an unexpected surge of optimism rising within him. This was not merely a reunion. It was an opportunity, a fresh start built on understanding rather than resentment. A sense of determination washed over him as they began discussing everything they had missed, personal triumphs and setbacks, passions nurtured and dreams abandoned due to circumstance. With every shared story came another layer peeled away from their pasts, a step closer toward healing. The emotional intensity surrounding them began to transform into something more beautiful. A connection forged through vulnerability and honesty, creating space for growth amidst fractured familial bonds. As they continued sharing their lives amid laughter and tears, the factory hum around them serving as a reminder that life goes on. They discovered not only each other, but also themselves anew. In that moment together, surrounded by machinery and innovation, their journey toward reconciliation blossomed into something profound, a testament to resilience amid chaos, a chance at rewriting their narrative together after so many years apart. As Elon and May began to navigate the uncharted waters of their newly rediscovered relationship, an air of awkwardness lingered between them. It was a strange blend of familiarity and distance, an emotional tightrope they were both hesitant to walk. Yet beneath the surface of uncertainty lay a shared desire to connect, to bridge the years that had separated them. Their conversations in the factory began tentatively, filled with cautious laughter and occasional pauses as they searched for the right words. Elon found himself grappling with how to approach this woman he had only known through stories and distant memories. May, too, felt the weight of her absence heavy on her heart, unsure of how to reclaim her role as a mother after so many years apart. One day, after finishing a busy morning at the factory, Elon invited May to join him for lunch at a nearby cafe. It was a casual setting, a stark contrast to the gravity of their earlier discussions, but both were grateful for the informal atmosphere that allowed them to breathe a little easier. As they settled into a cozy booth, Elon glanced at the menu but found it difficult to focus on food. Instead, his mind raced with thoughts about how to break through the barriers that still existed between them. So, he began, attempting to lighten the mood. "What's your favorite dish? I mean, aside from everything at this cafe?" May chuckled softly, her smile easing some of the tension. "I've always loved a good pasta dish," she replied, her eyes sparkling with warmth. "But I must admit, I haven't had much time for fine dining lately." "Neither have I," Elon admitted. "It's usually just quick meals between meetings or late-night takeouts after long days." Despite their differences in life experiences, it felt refreshing to share something so relatable, a glimpse into each other's daily routines. Their conversation gradually shifted from food preferences to childhood memories. May smiled as she recalled fond moments from Elon's early years, his inquisitive nature, and how he would often disassemble household gadgets just to see how they worked. "You were relentless," she laughed softly. "I can't believe you managed to reassemble half of those things afterward." Elon chuckled at the memory. "Yeah, I was pretty determined back then," he said with a hint of nostalgia in his voice. "I guess that never really changed." "I can see that," May replied with pride in her tone. "It's incredible what you've accomplished." Her words resonated with him. It was as if she was affirming not just his achievements, but also his identity, something he had long sought validation for. As they continued to share stories over lunch, the initial awkwardness began to dissolve like mist in the sunlight. They spoke about their interests and passions, Elon sharing anecdotes from his entrepreneurial journey, while May recounted her experiences as a model and dietitian. "Did you ever think about going back into modeling?" he asked curiously. "I did, but my focus has shifted," she said thoughtfully. "I'm passionate about nutrition now. It feels more meaningful." Her eyes sparkled as she spoke about helping others lead healthier lives through diet and lifestyle changes. Elon admired her resilience. He could see how much joy it brought her and how deeply she cared about making an impact. In that moment, he felt an even stronger connection forming, a bond rooted in shared values and aspirations. Over time, their lunch meetings became more frequent and relaxed, each gathering filled with laughter and growing comfort in each other's presence. They began reminiscing about various milestones in their lives, both significant and seemingly mundane, each story unveiling layers of who they were becoming as individuals. One afternoon, as they strolled through a nearby park after lunch, Elon found himself recounting stories of his early ventures, how he launched Zip2 while barely out of college, or how he took risks that led him to create PayPal. I remember being terrified yet exhilarated all at once, he admitted, gesturing animatedly as he spoke about those formative years. Every failure taught me something new. May listened intently, her eyes glistening with admiration as she absorbed his journey, from ambitious dreams rooted in childhood curiosity to groundbreaking achievements impacting millions. I wish I could have witnessed those moments, she said softly, to cheer you on during your successes. Elon felt a pang of sorrow at the thought. The idea that so many pivotal moments had taken place without her support or presence lingered heavily in the air between them. But we're here now, he reminded her gently. We have the chance to create new memories together. With each passing meeting, they delved deeper into their emotional landscape, discussing not only triumphs, but also vulnerabilities and fears that had shaped their lives over the years. They shared their regrets about lost time, but also expressed hope for what lay ahead, an opportunity for healing grounded in understanding. Elon opened up about his struggles with balancing work-life commitments. Despite achieving success on grand scales, there remained an emptiness accompanied by loneliness at times. May recognized that familiar feeling, the longing for connection she had experienced throughout her own life. Family is important, she said earnestly one day after hearing him speak candidly about feeling isolated despite his achievements. It's easy to lose sight of what truly matters when you're consumed by ambition. Her words resonated with him deeply. He realized that amid his drive for success, he had overlooked nurturing relationships that could provide genuine fulfillment. Even familial bonds once thought lost forever. As weeks turned into months, Elon and May forged an unbreakable bond built on trust and understanding. A relationship blossoming against all odds amid shared experiences marked by vulnerability and honesty. Through laughter-filled lunches and heartfelt conversations in parks, they began laying down roots anew, a foundation rich with memories waiting to be created together while honoring those that had come before them. The initial awkwardness faded into something beautiful, a reminder that love could transcend time apart, and family connections could be rebuilt even after years spent navigating life separately. In each other's presence, they found solace, a recognition of shared struggles leading toward newfound resilience forged through love, a testament to the importance of family ties rekindled against all odds. As Elon Musk continued to reconnect with May, the impact of their renewed relationship began to ripple through his life in profound ways. Each conversation, each shared moment, and every heartfelt story they exchanged encouraged him to reflect on the core values that had driven him throughout his career. The more he engaged with his mother, the more he reconsidered his own approach to work-life balance and the importance of nurturing personal relationships. In the days following their initial meetings, Elon found himself increasingly aware of how his relentless pursuit of success had overshadowed many aspects of his life, particularly those involving family. He had always been driven by an insatiable desire to innovate, pushing boundaries in technology and business at a breakneck pace. But as he spent time with May, he began to confront the reality that this relentless ambition often came at a significant cost. During one of their lunch conversations, May brought up the topic of work-life balance. "It's easy to get lost in your work," she remarked thoughtfully, her eyes searching Elon's. "But it's important to remember that life is about connections, those moments spent with family, friends, and loved ones." Elon paused, feeling her words resonate deeply within him. He had often justified late nights at the office or last-minute trips around the world as necessary sacrifices for his ambitions. But in doing so, he recognized now that he had inadvertently neglected the very relationships that could provide fulfillment beyond professional achievements. "What do you think I should do?" he asked earnestly, eager for her perspective as someone who had walked a different path, yet understood the complexities of ambition. May smiled gently, her expression filled with wisdom from years of experience. "It's about finding balance," she advised. "Set boundaries for yourself. Allow time for family and personal connections. Those moments will enrich your life in ways success alone cannot." Elon reflected on this advice as he returned to work after their lunch. The bustling atmosphere of the factory, filled with engineers and innovators hard at work, often fueled his drive to achieve more. Yet today, there was a subtle shift in how he viewed that environment. Instead of solely focusing on output and productivity metrics, he began to see it as a community, a collective of individuals whose lives intersected through shared goals. As the days turned into weeks, Elon took more intentional steps toward embracing this newfound perspective. He started delegating responsibilities more effectively, allowing him time to engage with his team on a personal level rather than just from a managerial standpoint. He initiated casual meetings where team members could share not only project updates, but also personal stories, a practice that fostered camaraderie and strengthened bonds among colleagues. One afternoon during a team meeting, Elon decided to share a personal story about reconnecting with May. "I recently discovered my biological mother works here," he began, pausing as surprised expressions spread across the room. "And it's made me realize something important. Our relationships matter just as much as our projects." His vulnerability opened the door for others to share their own family stories, some filled with warmth and connection, while others touched on estrangement and reconciliation. The atmosphere shifted as employees felt encouraged to express personal experiences. Laughter mingled with tears as they recognized their shared humanity. This new focus on relationships extended beyond the workplace for Elon as well. Inspired by his mother's emphasis on family priorities, he made an effort to reach out to siblings he hadn't connected with in years. He organized gatherings where they could come together, celebrating milestones and simply enjoying each other's company without distractions. At one such gathering, sitting around a table filled with laughter and stories from childhood, Elon felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude wash over him. It was a stark contrast to the isolated moments spent chasing endless goals at work. Here was warmth and love, a connection that transcended any accolades or achievements. He had often felt lonely at the top of his industry, a sensation compounded by long hours focused solely on business strategy or technological advancements. But now, surrounded by family and sharing heartfelt moments reminded him that success could not be measured solely by financial achievements or groundbreaking innovations. It was also about love, laughter, and shared experiences. Elon's relationship with May continued to deepen. They would often talk late into the evenings about everything from dreams for the future to reflections on past choices. He appreciated her insights on life's complexities, the way she navigated challenges while remaining steadfast in her commitment to nurturing connections. "Sometimes I feel like I'm stuck in this cycle of ambition," he confessed one night after dinner as they sat together on a porch overlooking the stars. "I want to change how I approach things." May nodded knowingly. "It's never too late," she encouraged warmly. "You have the power to redefine what success looks like for you." With her encouragement echoing in his mind, Elon began setting new intentions not only for himself, but also for those around him, creating an environment where collaboration thrived alongside personal growth. He realized that fostering connections within his teams would lead not just to better results, but also happier individuals driven by passion rather than pressure. As months passed since their reunion, Elon found renewed energy in both his personal and professional endeavors, a testament to how relationships could elevate one's spirit and inspire new possibilities. His outlook transformed significantly. No longer were work achievements treated as solitary victories, but rather milestones shared within a network built upon trust and understanding. Through reconnecting with May and embracing family priorities alongside professional goals, Elon Musk redefined what it meant to lead, not just as an innovator, but also as a son committed to fostering love amidst ambition. In this journey toward balance between work and family, the impact extended far beyond himself, rippling outward into communities touched by his endeavors, a legacy intertwined not only with technological advancements, but also enriched by cherished human connections. As Elon Musk and May continued to nurture their rekindled relationship, the quiet moments they cherished soon became a backdrop to an unexpected media frenzy. The news of their reunion, initially a private and emotional journey, leaked out into the public eye, turning their personal lives into a spectacle that neither of them had anticipated. It all started with a casual conversation between a factory employee and a friend at a local cafe. The employee, fascinated by the connection between the two, couldn't help but share the story on social media. Within hours, it spiraled into an online sensation. Headlines like Elon Musk's secret family reunion and the mother he never knew dominated news feeds across platforms, igniting conversations among fans and critics alike. Elon was in the midst of a meeting when his phone buzzed continuously with notifications, news alerts flashing on his screen. At first, he thought it might be another update about Tesla or SpaceX, but as he glanced down, confusion morphed into disbelief. The headlines were everywhere, some sensationalized, others misrepresenting the nuances of his relationship with May. "Are you all right?" one of his colleagues asked. Noticing his expression shift, Elon sighed deeply, realizing that this was going to be more than just a personal matter. It would force him to confront public speculation about his life. "I think we have a situation," he replied, glancing around the room, filled with eager faces. Within days, journalists camped outside his office and followed him wherever he went. Every moment of his life was scrutinized under the relentless gaze of the media. Reporters bombarded him with questions as he left meetings. "How does it feel to reconnect with your mother after all these years?" Or, "What does this mean for your personal life?" The pressure intensified as tabloids began to speculate wildly about his family dynamics, painting narratives that often strayed far from the truth. Some claimed there were unresolved conflicts that could threaten his career. Others suggested that this revelation would impact his relationships with his children. As Elon faced this barrage of attention, he realized it was imperative to maintain control over the narrative. But doing so, while managing his companies and navigating the complexities of his personal life, felt overwhelming. One evening, after a long day filled with interviews and press inquiries, Elon met May at their favorite cafe. Noticing her demeanor reflected the strain they both felt from the media storm surrounding them. "I never intended for our reunion to become headline news," he said as they sat down, feeling an urge to protect what they had built together. "I know," May replied softly, her eyes reflecting concern for both of them. "But we can't let this define our relationship." Elon nodded in agreement, but felt a knot tighten in his stomach at the thought of how public scrutiny could derail their progress. He hadn't just rediscovered a mother. He had begun to foster a bond that meant more than any headline could capture. "Maybe we should consider making a statement," he suggested hesitantly, contemplating how best to address the situation without fueling further speculation. May considered this for a moment before responding thoughtfully. "We could share our story, talk about what reconnecting means for us personally rather than letting others dictate how it should be perceived." That night, after much deliberation, Elon crafted a carefully worded statement addressing the media frenzy. He acknowledged their reunion and expressed gratitude for having reconnected with May, while emphasizing that family relationships are complex, filled with love and challenges alike. When the statement was released, it garnered mixed reactions. Some praised Elon for being open about his journey, while others criticized him for oversharing in light of such personal matters. The scrutiny felt unrelenting. Every social media post seemed to spark new debates about familial obligations versus professional pursuits. At moments when frustration threatened to overwhelm him, Elon found solace in conversations with May. They would often meet late at night after long days filled with external pressures, sharing thoughts on how to navigate both their relationship and the unfolding public narrative. "I've learned that you can't control everything," May reminded him one evening as they strolled through a quiet park near her home. "What matters most is how we choose to respond." Her perspective resonated deeply within him. It reinforced the importance of prioritizing their relationship over public opinion, a lesson rooted in love rather than fear. As time passed, and discussions about their reunion continued circulating in various forms, a mix of genuine interest and sensationalism, Elon grew more resilient against outside pressures. He focused on building memories with May instead of worrying about headlines or rumors. He began incorporating her into aspects of his life more intentionally, inviting her to events where she could meet colleagues and friends in an environment that felt supportive rather than invasive. This provided both comfort and connection as they navigated through tumultuous waters together, a united front against external chaos. In doing so, Elon fostered an environment where love thrived amid uncertainty, a testament to how family can grow stronger through adversity rather than succumb to it. Even as reporters persisted in seeking comment or insight into their evolving relationship, the bond between Elon and May deepened through shared experiences grounded in understanding rather than media noise. Ultimately, while public scrutiny may have altered how they approached their reunion, it did not define its significance or diminish what they had fought hard to rebuild together. Instead, it became an opportunity for growth, a chance to affirm that amidst challenges lies strength forged through connection, a reminder that family transcends circumstances and love perseveres even amid chaos. As Elon Musk and May continued to navigate their rekindled relationship, the journey was not just about reconnecting. It became an exploration of resilience, forgiveness, and the complexities inherent in familial love. Each meeting brought forth new insights, moments that deepened their understanding of one another and turned past wounds into teachings for the future. One evening, after a particularly emotional day filled with media scrutiny and personal reflection, Elon invited May to his home for dinner. The atmosphere was casual, yet there was an undercurrent of significance, a recognition that they had both grown throughout their journey. As they sat at the dining table, surrounded by the warm glow of candlelight, Elon felt a sense of serenity that had eluded him amidst the chaos of recent weeks. "I've been thinking a lot about resilience," he began, breaking the silence. "It's something I've tried to embody in my work, but I realize now how crucial it is in personal relationships, too." May nodded, her expression thoughtful. "Resilience is essential," she replied. "It's about bouncing back from challenges and finding strength in vulnerability. Our lives have been filled with obstacles, but facing them has made us who we are today." Elon reflected on this as he thought about his own journey, how each failure had taught him valuable lessons that shaped his innovative spirit. Yet he also recognized that resilience wasn't just about enduring hardship. It was about learning from those experiences and allowing them to foster growth. "I spent so much time focusing on achieving success that I neglected the importance of nurturing relationships along the way," he admitted candidly. "Now, I see that true resilience lies in being open to change, whether it's in business or family." May smiled softly, appreciating his honesty. "Forgiveness plays a huge role in that too," she added. "We've both made choices that led us down different paths, but embracing forgiveness allows us to move forward without being weighed down by regret." Elon felt a wave of understanding wash over him. This was a lesson he had wrestled with throughout his life: how to forgive himself and others for mistakes made in the past. The estrangement from May had left scars, but acknowledging those wounds allowed him to heal rather than harbor resentment. "Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting," he said thoughtfully. "It's about recognizing our humanity and accepting that we're all flawed." "Yes," May agreed, her voice filled with warmth. "We're all navigating our journeys with imperfect maps. What matters is how we choose to learn from our mistakes and grow stronger together." Their conversation meandered through memories, both joyful and painful, as they shared anecdotes about missed milestones or times when they felt disconnected. Each story served as a reminder of the complexities surrounding familial love, the push and pull of longing intertwined with misunderstandings. "In some ways, I think our separation has equipped us with a unique perspective," Elon mused as he recalled moments of solitude during his career. "I learned to value what truly matters, support from loved ones during times of uncertainty." May nodded appreciatively, recognizing the truth in his words. "And now we have the opportunity to forge a new path together," she said gently, "to redefine what family means for both of us moving forward." As their discussions deepened over dinner, they began brainstorming ways to cultivate their bond beyond mere conversations. They envisioned creating shared experiences, family gatherings where laughter resonated freely, moments spent enjoying each other's company without distractions from the outside world. Let's make it a priority to celebrate milestones together, Elon suggested enthusiastically. Whether it's birthdays or achievements, it doesn't matter what it is, it just needs to be time spent together. I love that idea, May replied brightly. We could even start traditions, something simple like cooking together or taking trips. In planning these future moments, they began weaving together threads of connection, reminding themselves that every experience would contribute to strengthening their relationship anew. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, Elon and May found themselves growing closer than either had anticipated. Their conversations became deeper, filled with shared laughter and occasional tears as they navigated the complexities of their pasts while forging ahead toward a brighter future. Through these exchanges emerged profound insights about love, its ability to heal wounds if nurtured properly, its capacity for forgiveness even amid turmoil, and its power to unify despite differences. One evening as they strolled through a park bathed in soft twilight, Elon paused momentarily, the weight of gratitude settling within him. You know, he said softly, glancing at May beside him, this journey has taught me so much about what it means to be human. May smiled warmly back at him, a reflection of pride mingled with joy evident across her face. And it's only just beginning, she replied gently. Elon realized how fortunate he was, not only to have reconnected with May, but also to have gained insight into himself through this process. Their journey was far from over. It held promise for growth both individually and collectively as they continued exploring new dimensions within their relationship. Through moments filled with laughter, reflection on lessons learned, and plans for shared experiences, they discovered not only each other, but also themselves anew. A reminder that resilience thrives alongside love, and forgiveness lays the foundation upon which true connections are built. As they walked on through the park, their laughter mingling with whispers of wind, the future shimmered brightly ahead, a testament to how familial bonds could withstand trials if nurtured with care, a beautiful dance between two souls rediscovering life together against all odds. As the days turned into weeks, Elon Musk and May found themselves immersed in discussions that encompassed not only their shared past, but also their visions for the future. Their reconnection had blossomed into a partnership defined by mutual respect, understanding, and a desire to create something meaningful together. With each conversation, they began to explore how their individual passions could converge into collaborative efforts that transcended their personal narratives. One evening, over dinner at Elon's home, the atmosphere buzzed with excitement as they brainstormed ideas that combined technology with personal storytelling. The flickering candles cast a warm glow around the room as they exchanged thoughts on how to leverage their unique experiences in ways that could resonate with others. Have you ever thought about creating a platform that shares personal stories? Elon asked, leaning forward in his chair. We could integrate technology to help people connect through their experiences, like a digital space where families can document their journeys. May's eyes lit up at the idea. That sounds incredible. We could encourage people to share not just their triumphs, but also their struggles, how they've navigated challenges, and what family means to them. She paused, contemplating the emotional depth this could bring to a technological platform. It's about human connection, after all. Elon nodded enthusiastically, envisioning a project that went beyond traditional tech solutions. Imagine harnessing data in ways that help us understand our emotional landscapes better, he continued. We could incorporate features that allow users to interact with one another, sharing advice, or even just supportive messages. The more they talked, the more energized they became by the potential impact of such an endeavor. They envisioned a community where families could come together to share stories of resilience and forgiveness, creating a tapestry of experiences that highlighted the beauty of human connections despite hardships. What if we included multimedia elements too? May suggested. Her creativity ignited. Videos, photos, people could capture moments that define their relationships. She smiled brightly as she spoke about the possibilities, her passion evident as she imagined how this platform could empower individuals to embrace vulnerability and foster deeper connections. Elon felt invigorated by her enthusiasm. We could also partner with nonprofits focused on mental health or family support, he added thoughtfully. By sharing real-life stories, we can raise awareness about the importance of these issues while providing a space for healing and growth. As they continued brainstorming, ideas flowed freely between them like an electric current, each suggestion building upon the last until they crafted an inspiring vision for what this project could become. It was clear that both Elon and May were not just looking to create something innovative. They yearned for a deeper purpose, a chance to make a meaningful difference in the lives of others. Their conversation soon expanded beyond just technical aspects. They delved into how their personal journeys shaped their aspirations. Elon shared anecdotes from his childhood, memories of loneliness mixed with ambition, while May recounted her struggles as a young mother striving for independence. These stories revealed common threads woven through both of their lives. The drive for success coupled with longing for connection. We've both experienced loss and separation, May reflected one night as they sat outside under a starlit sky. But those experiences have taught us valuable lessons about love and resilience. Elon looked at her thoughtfully. It was evident how deeply this journey had touched them both. And now we have an opportunity to turn those lessons into something impactful, he said earnestly. This isn't just about technology, it's about creating a legacy rooted in family values and understanding. With each new idea exchanged between them came renewed hope, not only for their collaboration, but also for what it represented. Healing from the past and looking toward a brighter future filled with possibilities. As weeks turned into months, they began laying groundwork for their project, reaching out to experts in various fields who could help bring their vision to life. They attended workshops on storytelling techniques and engaged with communities eager to share experiences that resonated deeply within them. With every step forward came excitement mixed with trepidation. Embarking on this journey together symbolized a new chapter, not just in their professional lives, but also within their evolving relationship as mother and son. Their aspirations extended beyond creating an innovative platform. It became clear that this collaboration would serve as a bridge, connecting not only their individual stories, but also weaving together narratives from countless others who had faced similar challenges. Imagine if our platform helped someone reconnect with their own family, May said one day, her voice filled with emotion as she envisioned the impact they might have. What if it provides hope to those feeling lost? Elon felt a surge of purpose at her words, a reminder of why he had pursued innovation throughout his life, not merely for accolades or recognition, but rather to inspire change and uplift others along the way. As they moved closer toward launching their project, a blend of technology infused with humanity, they both recognized that this venture represented far more than just work. It symbolized healing from years of separation, pain transformed into something beautiful. In those moments spent brainstorming ideas late into the evening or strategizing over lunch meetings filled with laughter, they forged not only plans for success, but also stronger familial bonds, a testament to resilience amid trials faced together. Ultimately, Elon Musk and May had embarked on a journey rooted in love, a desire not only to redefine what family meant for them, but also an aspiration to inspire others through shared stories woven into the fabric of technology designed with heart. As they continued working toward bringing their vision to fruition, they knew this was just the beginning, a new chapter waiting patiently ahead where lessons learned would guide them forward while illuminating paths yet unexplored in life's intricate tapestry. A testament to the power of connection amidst challenges faced together.